I'm Dr. Carter Singh. I'm a GP in Nottinghamshire and I'm also a nationally elected council member on the Royal College of General Practitioners National Council. I'm going to do a short video today about what it means to me being Southeast Asian for South Asian Heritage Month. So growing up as a second generation Southeast Asian in the 80s in a deprived, predominantly white British area in the Midlands was really tough. There was a lot of discrimination, racism, prejudice on the streets and also at school, and it was unbearable at times. As a result, it felt like you had to be two different people. One person when you're at home and a completely different person when you're at school. And this so-called code switching took its toll on my psychological and physical health and caused a lot of moral injury, confusion and disorientation. I knew that the narrow-minded, prejudiced opinions of those insecure bullies were born out of having no knowledge or experience of the world outside of their own closed circles. However, that didn't make it any easier to tolerate the daily strange looks, the racist comments, the exclusion, and even the physical violence. These were the strategies which were used to keep so many of us in that zone of forced assimilation, oppression, and suppression. They did it without even knowing. They forced us to segregate ourselves into the ghettos and to look only inwards. But it was the day that I realised that the lion has no regard for the opinions and action of the sheep surrounding it. I realised that I was the latest version of the software update of the generations that had come before me. That rich tradition, heritage, culture, and to suppress all of that, to deprive future generations and the community surrounding me of the rich South Asian heritage was a crime. I also realised that British culture and South Asian culture were not mutually exclusive. You don't have to be one or the other, you could be both. The two cultures and traditions were natural allies. Change and transformation doesn't happen within that zone, in that circle, in that box of oppression, of being made to feel embarrassed or ashamed of who you truly are inside. No, inside the constraints of that box, you can't be free to who you really are. You're only what other people expect and want you to be. It's only outside of that box where you truly realise that that's where growth and change happens. That's where I could be free to be me. So let's use chicken tikka masala, I can't even say it, as an example. So that dish does not exist or did not exist in Southeast Asia. We only had dal. It didn't even exist in England. They just had meat and two veg. It was that interface of where Southeast Asian culture met British culture and where that overlap, where that adaptation and evolution in both nations' palates occurred. And as a result, we created something collaboratively. It became the most treasured and most popular national dish. What would have happened if our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents had stopped frying the onions and the garlic, for which they got bricks through their windows and were called dirty and smelly and told to go back to the jungle where they came from? No, it wouldn't have happened. It was being true to oneself and preserving our culture what led to those surrounding us adapting and being exposed and educated to the rich cultural heritage of our nations. It was the very place where we came from that the British cup of tea and the brown sauce on the full English, the epitome of true Britishness, came from. So that's who I am today, free to be me, unapologetic, unashamed, true fusion between two worlds, a synergy of Southeast Asian and British culture, living at the crest of the wave where East meets West, not suppressed by anyone or anything which believes that the two should be mutually exclusive. Because revolution happens in the present time, But it's when that revolution travels through the passage of time, it becomes evolution and it becomes the future, where our differences, our idiosyncrasies and quirks are valued and celebrated, not brushed under the carpet, ignored or whitewashed, where you are free to be who you want to be and where I am free to be me. Thank you.